Hi, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Balanced with Bailey. Today, I had a whole nother episode planned, and then today's just been a day. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do a little catch up, chit chat about the day, and talk about how I get out of a bad mood because everyone gets in bad moods. And I think that it's such a good topic to discuss. So let's get right into it. Nothing dramatically happened today where nothing really bad happened. Just a lot of little things were kind of ticking me off and it put me in a bad mood. So I'm going to tell you about my day and how I ultimately got out of my bad mood. So I woke up this morning and I went to my nurse residency class. It's 4 hours and it's just kind of something I have to go do. And it's not the worst, it's not the best, at least I get paid to go. Anyways, so I went to that this morning. I woke up later than I wanted to. I wanted to wake up, do my Bible study, journal, coffee, and then go. I woke up 5 minutes before I had to leave, which I'm known to do that when I have things early in the morning. So I got ready and I went to my class. It was a good class, it was fine. Halfway through my class, I got a text that my rent, transaction didn't go through. I was like, why are you telling me on the 11th? I'm not sure why I didn't go through because I paid on the 1st every month, like I always have for the past 3 years in this place, and I've never had an issue with it. Like, what do you mean? So I sent the money over, the transfer was fine, and I was like, okay, whatever. It was an accident. It was the first time it ever happened, and I'll get over it. Things like that happen. Well, it turns out I had to pay a $100 late fee and then a $50 fee for it bouncing. So it's perfect. On top of all of the Christmas presents I've been buying and things I've been spending money on these past 2 months for the holidays, I now had to pay an extra $150 for an accident and something that I didn't even know happened. But it's fine. I was also kind of ouch, that one hurt, because if you can see me on the video, I look a little crazy because I got my lips done yesterday for the first time ever. So that was just adding to me knowing that my credit card is building up. But it's the holidays, it's fine. I have enough money to pay it off and we'll do better next month. Honestly, is what I'm telling myself, and after the holidays. So it's fine. We'll move on. But that happened. So I was like, okay, annoyed in class, figured that out. Then I have gel on my nails. And if you guys saw my TikTok video, my unit is now really cracking down on no gel, but you can have regular nail polish. Don't even get me started. It was you couldn't have regular polish and only have gel. Now they're switching it. I don't know. The hospital's getting very serious about it, or at least my unit is. So I got a text from my manager last week that was like, hey, before you come to work next week, I'm texting everyone, don't forget, we can't have gel or dip nails. I was like, fine. I still have them on and I work tomorrow night, so I need to figure that out. So as I was leaving, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm by the nail place. I'll call them, see if they can take it off. Call them. Oh, we can't take them off for you. Sorry, we're busy. Call a different nail place. Sorry, we're busy. We can't take them off. So I'm annoyed at this point. I'm just like, I need these off. I will be biting off the gel at this point because I don't know what to do before I work tomorrow. And I haven't been to work since they talked about this. So I don't know how serious it is, because is it yeah, take it off? Or is it we're going to walk around with nail polish remover and take them off? I don't know. I'm not risking it because I'm still too new to do that. So I will be somehow removing these in the near future. I'm very upset because I've also been doing gel for almost a year and they're so long and pretty and nice. And you can tell by my thumbs that I already ripped off. It's not going well. So that just added to it. Then I was like, okay, I'm right by Chick-fil-A, but I don't need to go buy food because I'm working on grocery shopping and not eating out because I'm really bad at eating out. So I go to Winco. If you guys haven't been to Winco, it's a debit card only place. You can't use a credit card. I don't know why. Someone explained it to me. It pisses me off. Anyways, so I go to the grocery store and instead of buying food, I'm starving. I'm looking at meal preps. I have a whole cart full. I go to check out. It's $150. I don't have my debit card. I don't even know where my debit card is, to be honest. I thought it was in my wallet and it wasn't. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I bagged it all up. I was like, I'll go home and get my debit card and come back. They're like, okay, that's fine. I come home. I leave my car in front of my house, leave the door open, think I'm just going to run in, grab it, leave. I look through every purse. I look through every jacket. I still don't know where my debit card is. My cart is still sitting there full at Winco. They're probably like, where are you? So I'm so sorry to the person who has to put all of my food back because I forgot my debit card. Currently, she's missing and I can't find her. Good thing I know where my credit card is. Are we shocked? No. Because I've been putting everything on my credit card and then paying it off to help build my credit because I'm just a girl and that's something you should do apparently. But whatever. I then drive all the way back home, which Winco is right by where I had my class. So this is now the second time I've driven out there. I drive home, can't find it. It's like, whatever. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm hangry. It's 1 p.m. I just wasted over an hour at the grocery store. I can't even find my card. Can't go buy my stuff. I'm not going to go to a different grocery store now and rebuy everything. That's just too much. So then I go to Chick-fil-A, which is also right by where my class was, as I mentioned, and Winco, for the third time. It's only like 10 minutes away, so I'm just being dramatic. But that took more time. I got Chick-fil-A, came home, had my Coke, and I was feeling much better because whenever I'm in a bad mood, a Coke and food always solve my problems, which is that the healthiest way? Probably not, but it is. So then I had my food and just wasn't really vibing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to crack an Alani. I'm going to film a little podcast and I'm going to dinner with my boyfriend's family. And I love my Wednesday night dinners with them. I honestly look forward to it every week. So I'm going to get in a good mood. And I'm honestly already feeling better. So that was kind of my day. That's why I was just in one of those moods where you're like kind of mad that you're upset, which makes it worse, if that makes sense. Like sometimes if I have a day where I don't work and I'm not having like a great day or something's annoying me or I'm in a bad mood, I get even more in a bad mood because I'm in a bad mood, if that makes sense, or if that's just a girl thing. But it's like, I'm not at work, so I should be having a great day. If I'm not having a great day, it's like setting me back in a way. If I'm not being productive, it's setting me back, which I need to work on that. And in those situations, I just go on a walk and put on a podcast and move on with my day because that's really all you can do. And I think I'm just hard on myself on days that I don't work because I'm like, oh, I'm not at the hospital. I should be having a great day. Beep, boop, bopping around or like chilling at home and like having a great time when honestly, life doesn't work that way. And it's okay to be in a bad mood sometimes. Every day can't be like the best day ever. So that was my bad mood and how I feel when I get in those bad moods. What I do to fix it is so simple. I always either get a sweet treat or a Coke. Let's be real, 90% of the time, it's either a McDonald's Coke or from the gas station with the Pebble Ice because that just cures a lot of my issues. And then I'll get food and either one of two things, go on a walk, put on a podcast, or read a book. When I go on a walk and podcast, it's Save Not Soft, Cheers with Avery, or The Wellness Cafe. Those are my three go-tos. Depending on what I want to listen and talk about and the vibes I want, I go to one of those three podcasts. Honestly convinced I'm best friends with all of them. So we'll see where life goes. That's me manifesting that. So I'll do a podcast, or if it's like late at night or cold outside, I'll read and just not think about anything real and think about dragons or something like that, or whatever my book's talking about. So that's how I kind of get out of a funk, or I'll take a shower, just kind of like anything that resets like the day and the mood and the vibes. Like treat yourself to like make yourself feel better. Honestly, I don't know if that's the healthiest way, but I think that's the best way because just kind of, sometimes you just need a hard reset, move on, then it's great. That's also another thing with this weather. It has been gloomy for like a week straight. Don't get me wrong. I am a winter girly. I love the snow. I love skiing. I love my 4 seasons. But when it's gloomy and I don't see the sun for a week, I feel like it's easier for me to get into that mood of just like annoyed. So whenever it's gloomy out, if I can ski, I'll go ski. That usually solves it. Or going on walks and just bundling up, kind of like kickstarting the mood before it even happens is what I try to do on those days. I am also such a routine girly that I think that plays a huge part in getting myself out of bad moods or just avoiding them all in general. I may not seem like it, but I'm so routine oriented. Like when I wake up, if it's not early and I'm not already late for something, which if it's before 8:00, I'm probably running late. So if it's like a morning I have at home or just a chill morning off, I'll read, journal, get ready for the day, make a TikTok. I always make my bed every morning. I feel like that kind of combination that I've found along with making a coffee just kind of like gets me in a great mood in the morning and I feel so productive before I've even left the house or done anything. Like such a good mental check-in. Reading the Armor of God, I think thinking about that first thing when you wake up is huge and just kind of sets you up for a positive day. Then like my nighttime routine, I always take a shower, light a candle, like put on my little LED light, like just kind of set the vibes so that you can go to sleep easier and wake up in a great mood, like reading, not being on my phone. I think those are just little things that I've started doing over the years that make a huge difference. Now it's like a whole routine versus starting off with one or two small things. If you have a hard time with healthy habits or starting routines, just start off with one thing. I think the first thing I did was one day I just made my bed, and I've done it ever since, and it's been like 5 years. So just small little things like that, or like before you go to bed, reading your book, like setting your alarms and turning your phone off and then reading a book for like, even if it's just a page or two, like slowly building that up to being a full routine of just doing one healthy habit at a time, I think is the best way to start it, versus like forcing yourself to do this huge routine and like not enjoying it, or being successful every night and then being hard on your day and then being hard on yourself just isn't worth it. I know that starting these routines at this time of year can be hard too, with the holidays and just traveling or families. Like you could be traveling to see your family, or like some other families, like my family isn't so cohesive. Like if you have divorced parents, but it's like when people decide to fight about time or who's going where, who's doing what, I think that puts a damper on the mood and everything in general, along with switching up your routines and just bringing up a lot of feelings that you don't necessarily want to think about. So I think during those times, what's helped me the most is like leaning on friends who are also kids of divorced parents. I'm working Christmas. I volunteered to work for my coworker who has a little kid at home, because I'm like, you should have Christmas with your family. I'll go take care of some kids. And then I get to avoid the fights of where are we going? What are we doing? All of that. And I'm lucky enough where my boyfriend's family's here, so I can go see them when I get off work. But I would just rather avoid that situation altogether. And I think I've been talking to a few of my friends who also have divorced parents or just like hard families to deal with during the holidays. And if you're an only child, it's harder. But if you have siblings, just united front, be like, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going when. You can either accept it or we'll see you next year for the next holiday. So I think it's such a hard time and not always the most festive for everyone, but I think making little things festive too. Like my roommate and I are both working Christmas, so we'll be here. So we have a little Christmas tree downstairs, and we have all of our presents, and we got stockings, and are kind of making our own little Christmas. It also makes me really excited for the future, because I want to host every holiday, because I love hosting and I love the holidays. So I'm just going to make everyone come to my house every year, because it has been a hot mess basically for a majority of my life and family of where we're going and what we're doing. So I would just rather avoid that altogether, and just everyone can come to my house. If you don't have a place to go, come to my house, and that'll be super exciting. But for now, I volunteered to work, and it's going to be great. And I'm kind of excited to work Christmas, because there's not going to be planned surgeries, only kids who have to be there. And I think it'll bring more holiday spirit, and I'll get more excited being around a whole bunch of little kids on Christmas. I'm looking at it in a positive way, but I take the out of working during the holidays. So if you don't have that out, I'm sorry. And hopefully you'll get through it, because the holidays are a trying time. Also, if you feel like the holidays are a hard time, set your boundaries. Be like, this is what I'm okay with. This is what I'm not okay with. I'll come do this. I don't want to do that. Learn how to say no, because honestly, you're allowed to say no. The holidays are your time to chill and reset too before the new year. And you want to start off the new year on a good foot, on a good note. Like, we're starting off positive. We're starting strong. 2025 is going to bring amazing things, and we're not letting the holidays ruin that or mess that up. So know your boundaries. Stick with your friends, your family that understand, and you can get through the holidays. And if your family is one of the families that's obsessed with every holiday and does big gatherings and is so fun and festive, I love that. And it's iconic, as you should. And one day that will be me. But for now, I'm working. So I'm sending all the love to everyone as they plan their holidays and mess up their routines. But ultimately, even just keeping little things, like even if you're traveling, still make your bed. Like little things like that can still help you. Go on a walk. Like, do your daily walks, even if it's in a different place. Go to a different coffee shop. Like, I think continuing to do those little routines help to just like staying neutral during the holidays and like having a good just wellness mindset overall. Completely pivoting from routines, holidays, bad moods. I thought I would just do a little chit chat update. I was going to do it at the beginning, but honestly, I like when I listen to a podcast and it's towards the end because I want it to get straight to the point in the beginning and get like the main part of the message and then just get to chit chat afterwards. But little life update. I did get my lips done yesterday, as you can tell if you're watching. They're a little bruised, but honestly, I love them. Like, I debated it for a while. I've gotten Botox in my forehead a couple times and like my 11s because I have really bad frown lines. But it made me really excited for one of my upcoming goals. I want to get licensed to do injections, and I think that would be so fun. And now that I have my lips done, I fear there's no going back and there's no stopping. So future me will see this and be like, whoa. I want to end the episode with just like a little chit chat life update. I started this podcast because I want to be someone that people look up to and kind of like an influence and really just be so authentic and true. And I think part of that is being so real about just different aspects of my life. And yesterday I did get my lips done. As you can tell in the video, if you can see, they're a little bit bruised. I love them. I'm so happy I did that. I've gotten Botox a couple times in my forehead. Never against getting work done. And I just want to be so authentic and so real about what I do get done because I don't think it's that big of a deal. Others might, but I don't want people to think like I'm all natural if I'm not. Like, I did get my lips done. I've had Botox done. Other than that, I just work out a lot, and that is why I look the way that I do. But I think part of bringing that up is just why I started the podcast, what I want this to be. I want this to be a safe space. I want this to be a little comfort corner of the internet. Like, I want to lead by example, and I think being super honest and always being open is a good part of that. So I want to start doing little chit chat segments at the end of the episodes, just life updates, what's going on with me, and kind of getting more personal. I also just thought of this, but something I've been thinking about a lot lately, like going off of the, like, I feel like right now I'm just pretty neutral and kind of in a waiting game. I feel like there's a lot of like podcasts and people who are famous and talking about drinking and partying and daddy's credit card and all these crazy stories. And I feel like that's so fun to listen to. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've had my party girl phases. I've had the wanting to be like that and just every day's crazy and going out and drinking and being hungover. But now I feel like I want my corner of the internet just to be a place to come for like clarity and like almost like softness compared to that. Like, I feel like all of that other stuff is just so aggressive and not shallow, but like surface level. And I want my podcast to be something deeper. I want you to come here for inspiration, for comfort, for the word. Like, I want it to be somewhere that feels genuine and comforting. So that's just something I thought of, and I've been thinking about that for a while. Like, as I've been on social media more and more, like the presence I want to bring versus what I'm seeing, kind of consuming less and creating more. I think that's also a big thing. So I wanted to mention that. So the past week or so, I did get lip filler. Other than that, I've been going to church. I've been serving at church. It's been so fun. I've been getting called more to talk more about my faith. And that's something I've been thinking about doing an episode on. But I've been a little nervous because I feel like I'm not as advanced of a Christian as a lot of people that I see on the internet or who share their stories or, I guess, quote, Christian influencers. But at the same time, I feel like maybe that's the beauty of it, not knowing as much as everyone else and just kind of talking about my testimony and my story. So that's something I've been thinking about. I had the past couple days off of work because I took a day of PTO and had my class today. So I only worked 2 days this week. And the way that it stacked up, I got a lot of time off, which I really needed after my last 3 shifts. They were just hard, lots of nursing, felt really smart and really good about it, but definitely needed some time to recover mentally from that. I am getting ready for the holidays. I'm excited about everything right now. I think that's also part of something I've been thinking about is during the holidays and at church, we've been talking a lot about like the struggling of surrendering, all of that, if you guys saw my TikTok. But honestly, the past couple weeks have been really just normal. I feel like I'm almost in a period of waiting versus like being in a period of struggle or being super excited about everything and everything's going amazingly versus just being new. I feel like I'm neutral. Nothing really bad is going on. Like, I don't feel negative. I don't feel hurt about anything, which I think that's a blessing because it's kind of, I'm taking it as a period of waiting, and I have a lot of things moving and slow parts moving, but I'm excited to build up the podcast and build up a community. I want slow movement so that this becomes a real community in place on the internet and real friends and real people who feel connected versus just like going viral and being known for like one thing. I want this to be so open and honest. I'm so excited to start having guests on here too, but I am constantly thinking about all these things and like TikTok ideas, things I want to talk about nursing wise, podcast ideas, things about church as that's becoming more and more a part of my life and like everyday thoughts. So I wanted to share that and just be open about my thoughts that way and just kind of how life is going in general. Other than that, I have no crazy updates. I'm excited to start. I feel like I'm ready to start having guests on the episodes. I've been planning a bit more. And besides the little book talk episode that I dropped for fun, or this one being totally not what I planned, I feel like it almost works better that way. So I'm so excited. I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. Thank you for listening to another episode of Balance with Bailey. Love ya. Bye.